Hello and welcome to the Vigilance Committee. Today we've got a little bit of a different type of show. We've got Culture Club USA here, and we're under contract. She will be singing for us today. Here comes our intro. There she is.
Here, there you are. You just made your great, wonderful entrance. And here is our guest of honor today.
Hello,
Culture Club.
guys. I'm so happy to be here that I had to leave and come back again. Needing a main entrance.
You had to make sure that your dream came true, right?
My dream came true, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm not used to.
She's like, I don't want to sing today. I'm out of here.
Oh my God, what is going on? I literally moved my earpiece and all I did was I accidentally pulled out the audio. Okay, now I did talk. You know what? It was because I was bad mouthing my producers earlier, talking about water. So that you see, God just showed me one, and then they came over and well, you're unplugged. I'm like, all right. Hello, everyone in the chat. First of all, you all have been here. Drew is here. Brandon Mitchell. Let's. Oh my God, you guys! I'm so
Daisy
happy.
May. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying, the title of this was supporter of a different genre or from a different genre. Okay. Most of our people, our supporters, basically are from the 1A community.
Yep.
And they know the stories. They've seen it. So it's like we're preaching to the choir. However, that being said, and I've always said we need to bring more people into this community. It can't just be the ones who have already seen it and seen it and seen it.
Yeah.
Well, by going over to your channel, Debrava, it's
Yep.
like she's always saying, that she supports the auditors, the 1A community. So I just thought that if we could bring your supporters with our supporters, that maybe the word would get spread to a different type of people.
100%. And you know what? I think what you're saying, Nikki, is so important because although everyone is glued to their phones, right? A lot of people are glued to their phones for the wrong reason. Right? It's like, you're scrolling through TikTok and you're scrolling through Instagram while things are happening right in front of your eyes, right? And I think more people in the community, my channel is a little bit of, it's comedy, parodies, reactions. And there is, on the ground reporting and stuff. I love that scene. It's where I start, how I started the channel. More people need to be more aware of what's going on. And I see this is the situation, the flute. Yeah. The city being shut down and, just how New York came back, I think it changed a lot of people, the way that they view authorities. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
it's like if we have a constitution, but it's not enforced, then what good is it? You can have all the laws you want. You can have free speech, but if it's not enforced, then what is that exactly? And that's kind of what's happened in New York City. So in my opinion, the auditors, they keep the checks and balances for the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the government is corrupt. And to me, auditors are the only unbiased form of checks and balances for the people. Really. That's just
Absolutely.
how I
And New
feel.
York City is like it's like the bastion of the rest of the country. It's and that's it reflects the rest of the country. The rest of the country reflects New York City. So
That's right.
well said.
That's right.
So what I kind of wanted to do is show a little bit of your body of work of your quote unquote culture and political parody today. So I got some videos up here. I got a couple of shorts that you did.
Oh, I
Um,
love doing my shorts.
uh,
This is one of my favorites. This is
yeah,
one of my
because it talks
favorites.
about the migration issue, right?
Now, there's an interesting story behind this. Very interesting story behind this.
Okay,
I'll
well,
tell
I'll
you.
play it first, and then
Yeah.
you can tell us the story behind it. Here we go.
We have been jobless. We have been in need of medical care, the same things that they are being given freely and they got here illegally. You cannot expect any American, any New Yorker in their sound mind to accept and be agreeable to that. You absolutely cannot, because we are here legally. We are citizens. We work. We pay taxes, and you're taking our tax dollars and spending it on people who are here illegally, who you basically escorted into the city.
I think that was it.
She had it right. She had
Yes,
it
she
right.
did.
So it's so funny because that's part of the NYCHA story that I did for months, almost 8 months on different aspects of what was happening with NYCHA. And the illegals were just flooding through New York. I mean, I can't even describe to you what is going on in New York. If you go to Central Park, even still now, at around 5:15 in the morning, there is just illegals in the middle of the park. They have these drop-off spots, right? With a crew of people handing them information booklets, handing them all kinds of things, taking them to hotels, asking them where they want to go, bringing them to get licenses, okay? It's absurd what is happening. But with NYCHA in particular, what they were doing is there was a slew, they were kicking people out of apartments, okay, on section 8 and 9. And they were doing it by saying, "Oh, they would come in," and this is so disgusting what was actually going on. They would come in and, you have elderly people or people that just, actually trust authorities. Come into your apartment, "Oh, you need a renovation. Oh, you need a new fridge. You need a new stove. We're going to give you a new stove. We have an influx of money. We're doing some things for certain apartments. Oh, wonderful. I need a new stove. Okay, you just have to sign this here, okay? And most section 9 now there are more protections there. Just sign this paperwork so they'll give you a new refrigerator, a new microwave, right? You sign this paperwork and now you realize what you just signed is that you have to leave in X amount of time. Some people only had 3 months. I mean, what they were doing is nuts. They were emptying these places out, filling them with illegals, okay? And the racket with the people in charge at NYCHA would blow your mind. They were so upset with me that actually that woman, Danette, sent me an email because I had gone into somebody's apartment and they gave me a tour and I spoke to them, said, "What is happening?" And they threatened me. They were threatening me. "If you continue this, you're talking to drug dealers." I said, "Well, first of all, oh, okay, and like, what does that have to do with anything? And why I'm going to take what you're saying, I'm taking your word for what? You're literally getting kickback after kickback. There were so many people arrested from that situation at the top that was nuts. It was a huge racket. And, unfortunately, the people don't stand up. If everyone at NYCHA, even my videos, it was mind-boggling to me. I'm like, I'm helping you guys. I'm literally exposing stuff. But if you don't push it, if you don't get this out there with me, nothing is going to happen. Well, now they're knocking it down. You know what I'm saying?
How-
So wait a minute. You were exposing something that was wrong,
Big
and you got threatened.
multiple times.
Isn't that kind of like our auditors who are filming on a public sidewalk in front of
Yes.
a courthouse
Yes.
and they get drug in front of the judge because the judge says you can't
Exactly.
film?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you do understand what the auditors are going through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's crazy to me that, like, for instance, NYCHA, like, a lot of the auditors, like, I watch a lot of Brandon Mitchell stuff, and it's like they're in specific situations and you're literally trying to help the people. NYCHA, there are thousands of people in this public housing situation. Okay. Like, you literally could all come together, become auditors.
They don't realize they have the power.
That's the thing. It is so unbelievable to me.
Well,
They kicked me out of a
It's been
meeting.
ingrained in the education system that you have to respect authority. Just do what they tell you to do.
Exactly.
Uh,
Oh, wait
yeah.
a minute, Cliff. Does that bring up some
Yeah.
subject that we
Yep,
were
we're
talking
good. We're going to
about?
bring that up later. Yeah, definitely want to bring that up later.
Crazy.
But so I've got another one, political parody here that I want to share.
We're waiting on that. I do want to say thank you to everyone for being here and coming in. Yeah, sorry I haven't been able to say hello to everyone individually like I normally do, but I do see you. I do appreciate you guys being here. And
Oh,
I guess
we
Cliff
actually
has it
have,
up.
yeah, we actually have Lustant in the chat too.
I figured I'd let you
He
say his name.
he is a legend as far as moderators go.
Hello to everyone, and thank you so much for coming in to see me on this show. I'm so happy. I see some definitely, familiar faces here.
Oh yeah,
Wingspan, Brandon, I saw
U-Haul.
all the time.
U-Haul's in
U-Haul,
here.
of course. U-Haul cracks me up.
All
Have a
right, so
lovely
this one is this is the lady that you support, Kamala Harris.
Oh, I just love her. Don't you know? I'm absolutely crazy about Kamala. Now, why do you think that we should have an Indian in office? Because she is not Indian, she's black. Okay. Now, what I want to say is Kamala Harris is absolutely going to save America. Okay. 1% of the vote when she was running for president, which tells us that every single person is dying to have her as the president. I mean, give me a break. I would take Biden over her. This is ridiculous. I mean, really, people. So here's the thing. This is crazy now. This is why the auditor community is important. Okay. We're gonna allow these people to literally install her into office now. Think
Yeah,
about it.
that's
That's how
basically
Kathy
what they
Hochul got
want to
in.
do. Yeah.
That's how Kathy Hochul got in. It's like you can't. So we just change the laws and change the rules when it's convenient for us. Like, how are these judges and DAs and how is this happening? We are literally headed to a serious hardcore communist country. I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's boggling.
I get what you're saying. I just figure both sides are two wings of the same bird. That's all corrupt government. It's
No two sides at the top.
yeah.
No two sides at the top. Money,
Right.
power.
Yeah, yeah. So I think you just came out with this one yesterday too. So I'm not going to play all of it. If you guys want to see
Okay.
the whole thing, you'll have to go over to Culture Club USA and subscribe to her channel and click on a video. Of course, make sure you hit the like button, share, make comments,
Thank you.
and But I'm going to play a little bit of it here, just because I like the satire of it, and I like your Indian accent.
You gotta have fun. Maybe people will
Yeah,
listen then.
yeah, absolutely. Here we go.
Tyrant is in the chat. Hey.
Hey, TV.
What are you hearing? Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji.
Kamala, what is going on? Kamala, I'm telling you right now. Do you know what happened last week? Tucker Carlson's producer showed up to the Delhi spice market in India and bought all your father's spices. You know why? He for the truth. The truth! How dare you! The Indian Scams Development and Research Center, the Indian group of call centers that put you and Joe Biden in office. We will not get you elected again. I will call Megyn Kelly, I will call Sean Hannity, and I will call Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. And by the way, by the way, M. Night Shyamalan called me yesterday and said, guess what? He is done with the movies and he is ready to do documentarians. You
Documentarians.
I mean, Cliff, when you say that, I mean, is it the Civil Circus? I named it that way because I'm like, my father is always like, this is a clown show. What is it? And he's like, you know, my dad, he likes it when I do the politicals. He's like, are you doing these prostitutes again? He's like, what is
The OnlyFans Club. Yeah, I mean, when you do those shows, I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah. Like, is it politics or prostitutes? And I'm like, Dad, okay. So, like, you know what? He's right. It is a clown show. This is the Civil Circus. Because literally, how we, the people, allow these people to have power over us, I just cannot fathom at this
Yeah.
point. It's I mean, everything that we have known, you know, what America's about, the founding fathers, it's all just gone. Not all of it, obviously, but we're getting close. I mean,
Yeah.
what's next?
Yeah. I mean, and it's all, you know, it's been going on for decades and decades, you know, especially with the school system, teaching
One.
conformity and indoctrination, and they don't teach what's right anymore. And if you buck against it, you pay the price. I was just telling you earlier about what happened to me when I was a kid. You know, all through, I got kicked out of kindergarten because they said you had to take a nap, and I said I ain't tired. I'm not taking a nap. I mean, but you got to do what they tell you to do when they tell you to do it, and you taught that way in school. That when you become an adult, you're supposed to be a lot more docile. Well, I never grew out of it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You know, school is where it all starts. It's like that's
Yep.
where the indoctrination starts. That's where we get used to this, like, you know, like working like little I don't even know if I can say the word, but you know, little bots, you know, controlled operatives. It's like, think about it. All the stuff I covered in New York, I covered, you know, my doc, all the major protests. I went undercover in Antifa. That was mind-boggling. The mindset of these kids and their kids. Like, to see high school kids actually believing this propaganda is nuts. And it all starts in the school. This goes way back before I mean, my father would tell me this goes back to like Carter, you know, in the Department
Actually,
of
it goes even farther than that. It goes back to
Farther.
the 20s, when Wilson was in office.
Wow.
President Woodrow Wilson in 1914. He's the one that started
Wow.
the modern education system. So,
And our education system, when this school system was Little House on the Prairie, okay, and we had privatized school before the government got involved, that's how it's supposed to be. Why are we in government school systems? To me, it just doesn't make any sense. And our system, correct me if I'm wrong, our school system here is a Prussian school system. That's where they got it. They took it from the Prussian at the time system. Okay. Like I was homeschooled for a long, long time, which I think is why a lot of this stuff, I'm like, I don't understand this. A boy is not a boy, a girl is not a girl. I mean, over the last few years, and the recent stuff is just nuts. Like my nephew's like 6 now, and he's like, TT. I'm like, what? The teacher told you could marry a boy or a girl, and he's like, I don't know where, and he got suspended. He's like in first. I'm sitting here going, are you kidding me? It's nuts.
Yeah, but those are these issues are mainly they're distractions to take away from what the real problem is teaching conformity,
Yes.
to respect authority, to just do what you're told, keep your mouth shut, raise your hand, get in line, speak only when they call on you to be able to speak. I mean, they don't even teach the First Amendment of the Constitution at all. So
It's unbelievable.
it's all indoctrination.
Yep.
Well,
And if
I
you buck
can tell
against it,
you.
they think something's wrong with you. You're odd. And,
Isn't that crazy?
well, we're going to get into that too. I'm gonna actually pull up the definition of odd, so
There
that
you go.
actually see what it means. But that's all I wanted to show about this one. Now, if you guys want to see more of this particular one, I only played 1 minute. It's 22 minutes, so definitely go to Dubrava's channel and watch it. She just put
Thank you, Cliff.
I didn't want to much of it just because you just put it out. So
Thank you. Civil circus. I figured if I bring some comedy and political satire, maybe people will actually listen to what I'm actually saying on top of
and now I want to play something that is one of your most popular. I think it came in as number 2.
Okay.
And I was pretty interested in it. It's only 8 minutes 35 seconds, so it's not too long. I'm still not going to play the whole thing, but I wanted to play a good portion of it because you made some really good points in this one as well.
Okay.
The American dream.
This is one of my favorites.
So let's make it big. There we go.
Have you ever pondered the American dream? Is it a beacon of hope or a glorified illusion? Let's take a moment to untangle this enigma that has for decades been the cornerstone of America's cultural ethos. The American dream, a phrase so powerful and seductive that it has lured millions to its shores. It's not just about a house with a white picket fence or making your first million before you hit 30. No, it's something far more profound. It's the belief in the freedom that allows each individual to pursue their own version of happiness, unfettered by the shackles of birth or social class. This dream, this promise of a better life, was first articulated by the historian James Thrussell Adams in the year 1931. He envisioned a land where life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to their ability or achievement. A dream so deeply ingrained in the American psyche, it's almost a part of its DNA. But where did this dream originate? Was it born out of the fertile soil of a new world where endless possibilities awaited the brave and the bold? Or was it a construct, a cleverly crafted narrative to attract the ambitious, the hopeful, and the desperate from around the globe? The American dream, in all its glory and complexity, is a mirage that shapeshifts according to the beholder's perspective. For some, it's the embodiment of hope, a testament to the boundless opportunities that America offers. For others, it's an elusive illusion, always just out of reach, no matter how hard they strive. As we set out on this journey, we'll see how this dream has twisted and turned, reflecting the changing tides of society. Has it been a golden ticket to prosperity for all? Or has it been a cruel tease, always promising and seldom delivering? As we delve deeper, we will explore how the legend of this dream has expanded over time and whether it still holds its original allure. But remember, just like any dream, the American dream too is subject to interpretation, and its reality may be as diverse as the nation it represents.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm so honored that you like that because, when I first started this channel, I was really just writing and doing a lot of those. And I really was just going to do that because I was working on a doc and I'm like, wow, things are so upside down and backwards. Like,
Yeah.
what people in other countries actually see America as it's supposed to be is just not.
Yeah. And
You know?
that's like I say, when I was 10 years old, I read the Constitution, I read the Bill of Rights, and I was like, something's not right here.
Yeah,
You could figure it out then. It was such an easy read,
exactly.
And it really is an easy read, folks. So if you haven't read it, especially the Bill of Rights, read it. It's so simple.
It's so funny. My dad gave me these 2 little booklets. I wish I had it. Actually, no, I don't have it. It's the Constitution, and it's like this big. It's like, you really need it. I'm like, okay. It's like, I get you start waking up to things too, and you're just like, what is going on? Especially when you're on your own. You're kind of like, finding your way, and I don't know. Ever since the flu, you started realizing a lot of things like, oh, I'm not allowed to go into this
Yeah, I think it was
grocery
a testing ground to see how far our government could go on things, right, Nikki? Here.
It wasn't always about cliche white picket fences and picture perfect families. Imagine this, the 17th century, where suburban bliss wasn't a lure for the first settlers. It was the enticing idea of endless opportunity and freedom. They dreamed of a place where anyone could make it by working hard. The New World was about survival, not prosperity, but the dream preserved, fueling the growth of early colonies. The Industrial Revolution then turned everything around. It wasn't about survival.
Yeah, the Industrial Revolution
revolution.
started
Yep.
in the late 1800s.
Yep.
And then they needed to change the education system so that they could need out workers. They need workers to work in all these plants, right?
Want school to work. School
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Teach you how to
Yep.
get a job. Yep.
Exactly. No individualism. Just go work.
Yep.
in the
And before the Industrial Revolution, 95% of the American people actually worked for themselves.
Isn't that
They
incredible?
never had a thought or a dream of working for somebody else. It was just indentured servants and slaves.
Yep.
So if you got into debt, you could sell yourself out for a certain number of years to pay off the debt. So because back then they had debtor's prison. So it's
Wow.
like,
I did not know that.
oh yeah,
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
you
Now
saying
that's
that-
interesting.
Are you saying that back then they didn't hand out participation trophies to everybody?
Everyone's a
you
winner.
had you had to work, man. You had to. You couldn't just live off the government. You either worked and you had to pay your bills, your debts, because that's like giving your word. You promised to pay this loan, you better pay it. Otherwise, you're going to go to work as an indentured servant, so that the master is going to pay your debts for you, and then you pay them back by working for them for a certain number of years. Nothing wrong with that. That would be more fair.
It would be more fair. It would be more fair. I mean, we are literally school to work,
Mhm.
soldiers.
Yeah, well, and that's what you're doing. Yeah.
It's a trap.
So that's where we're going to leave it right there. So if
Wait.
you guys want to know where it goes from here, you gotta go to the Bravo's channel. Culture Club.
You mean the American dream isn't getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, getting in your car, going and spending
No.
8, 10, 12 hours working for someone else for a set wage.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Then
That isn't the
coming
American dream
home-
anymore. I watched
and
the whole thing.
realizing that you can't pay your bills and you are living on credit
Both my
and you have
daughters
to
are
file
living the American
bankruptcy.
dream right now.
Yep.
They are
School
doing what
loan.
they want to do, and they don't have the student loan debt.
Me neither. Because you know what my father told me? He said, "Sweetheart, college is a waste of time. Are you
And
going to be
money.
a freaking surgeon? I'm going to go with no." I'm
Yep.
like, he's like, no, no. I mean, talk about you go into debt. And I mean,
Mhm.
every single thing we do is like in debt. I don't have one iota of debt because thank God, again, I think it has a lot to do with the parents. You
Mhm.
know, it's like, you luck into that too. Luckily, I was lucky. My father and mother have been spewing this since I was born. You know what I mean? It's just like this, it's such an illusion. And you know what? My father always says they want you to own nothing and be happy. Own
Yep.
nothing and be happy. And it's like
Yeah, and
majority of people
you
there.
know, before there were refrigerators and
Mm-hmm.
freezers, people weren't interested in that. They even said, "What do we want that for?"
Yeah,
No,
of
they've created the need, right? They
course.
created the need. It's like washing machines. What do we need that? I got this roller right here, you know. And
Right,
it's
right.
all to make people lazy. It's all convenient. It's all
Yep,
faster,
yep.
more time efficient. Everything they wanted to be easy so that they would be able to work them, 40 hours a week
Exactly.
or
I
more.
guarantee, yes. And it's like, and then, it's funny because also, the government, it's like right now, like it's like a Hegelian dialectic. It's just create the problem to
Mhm.
implement the solution you want. Like
Yep.
Washington, like we don't need that. Oh, well, now you're not allowed to
But
dry
it's
your
gonna
clothes in New York
cost
City. Right,
it's gonna cost money.
right.
Create that problem and then they get the solution, but it's gonna cost money, people.
And they
Yeah.
get rich off of it. And what you said
Yeah.
too, to me, is so important because everybody wants everything now. It's
Mhm.
mind-boggling to me how people don't understand what putting
And
work
and
in
half the time they don't even wanna press the button for it. They just want it to magically appear.
crazy. It's crazy.
I
It really is.
remember growing up as a kid, I was the remote control for my dad's TV. We had 3 channels. He said, "Go up there and turn that knob to the right
Right,
over to channel 8."
right. It's so funny because I don't even have kid like, I've canceled it. Like, I don't care, I don't wanna see it, I don't I'd rather, watch YouTubers like you, the news, like, you want me to watch the news like, we're so indoctrinated. It's like
Yeah.
everything is propaganda down to the movies,
Yeah,
down
it
to the
is. Well,
movies.
Hollywood's always been like that too. They've always been propaganda for the government. Yeah,
Unbelievable. From
yeah,
way back when, bringing all the
yeah.
communists in,
Mhm.
writing in disguise, pushing all these agendas to get us all used to this
Yep.
stuff. And now look at us. Like, I'm the oddball because I'm like, well, a man's a man and a woman's a woman. Okay. The arguments. Okay. I'm an oddball because I'm like, the government's corrupt. Like,
Yep.
Joe Biden is, what are we talking about here? Like, elected, like, what planet are we on? Nothing makes sense. There's no common sense anymore whatsoever. That's why it's like I got to get out of New York City. It's
Yep.
you know what I
And
mean?
yep. And people are so distracted by pop culture. This
Yep.
is your most popular video. Yeah.
I know. Yep, I know what this
Yep.
is.
Hip hop.
Yep.
Yeah. Most popular video.
Yep.
How many views? 203,000 views.
Yep.
How interested people are in
You know
culture.
what's funny about this video?
Yeah.
Very, very few people actually even understood what I did in this video. This video, and it's pretty short, but the hip hop people and the community that came up from the history of hip hop, what I was trying to tell them, okay, in a comedic way, is that you gave yourselves up to the industry. The corporate warlords own you. They used you. You signed it away. You will own nothing and be happy. And now when they were done with you, they got rid of you. You know what I'm saying? They used you to push propaganda. Now you're not getting paid, only the select few. And then when they're done with you, look at P. Diddy. I mean, my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, keep doing all this
Yeah.
stuff. When they're done with you, they're done with you. They'll put you done. That's why Hollywood, people would say to me, "Oh, why you should have went to SN. Are you nuts? I could never wear." Father laughed. He's like, "Her? Are you kidding me? Never, not in a million years. You couldn't get me to do anything for these people." You know what I'm saying? It's so corrupt. It's just a big propaganda nightmare.
And it's a distraction from the American
Big
people
time.
too, to just keep
Big time.
them thinking about these kinds of things and
Yep.
propagating. Yeah,
Yep.
so they're not paying attention to what their government is doing to them.
Yep.
Even the purest form of freedom, man. Do what you want to do. Go in life and do whatever you choose to do. As long as you're not violating the rights of somebody else, leave us the hell alone.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree with you.
But yet the
100%.
powers that be that create these definitions, I believe it's the government. putting this kind of
100%.
stuff in, you know.
It is so important, Nikki, that people in general get off their phones and start looking at what is going on around them. It is nuts. It is nuts. New York is so out of control that people have gotten to the point in the city where they're just afraid to do anything. They'll just walk the other way instead of like helping some or filming, helping some. When the at the shooting, which I have a thing tomorrow night coming out about it, I found it so odd that I got so many messages and people in my building, okay, and they're, I won't even go down that path. We're talking about how this was staged and that because people were filming. I'm like, those are orders. Can you imagine? You should be look at all the evidence that's coming out from the people's phones.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Those are what's good about the technology and the cell phones is the cameras.
correct.
Because
Correct.
the cameras are an unbiased witness, objective witness. It's not subjective at all. What you see
Yep.
is what you see.
That's
So,
it. That's
Yep.
it.
I
Well,
think we've had a great show today.
so much fun with you guys. I'm going to put something together. I hope you guys will collab on my page and you can stream on your, let's try to get this movement going into, my crew of people who are on
Sure.
something totally different. It's funny because when I started doing the the crime and culture unfiltered, it's like how crime affects culture and culture affects crime. I was shocked at some of the reaction, the as my father would say, the prostitutes that I went on trial. A lot of those crew of people came to, watch that stuff. They were interested in it. So I think there's hope. It's important. Our auditors, like I said, you are the key to us, especially the local level. Okay.
Yeah.
Locally, the local level, auditors locally are so important.
Yeah.
In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred land. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. Through the storms and the darkest night, we'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight. For the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame.
same through the trials and the tests. We'll always give our best through the storms and the darkest night. We'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight for the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the quiet of the night, we'll keep the watch, we'll hold on tight. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll stand tall. Together we'll rise, together we'll fall. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we'll stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred in the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we'll stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred